Welcome to Survive to Thrive Daily with Dr. Todd. I am Dr. Todd Wendell, husband, father, chiropractor, entrepreneur, and health architect, here to bring you daily tips and tricks to improve your life and literally help you move from just surviving to thriving. Let's get started. Good morning. Holy man, we're having some technical fun this morning. I don't know if it was the power bumps yesterday, but nothing was working the same. And this kind of leads into a great topic that we're going to talk about today. I wake up every morning, just if you haven't heard one of these podcasts, I wake up in the morning with my directions and what I would like to do. And then I spend time connecting. For me, I don't care for you what it is. I'm not here to talk religion, talk anything along those lines, but I don't care what it is for you. If you're not connecting in a spiritual way, meditating, prayer, whatever it may be, you're missing out. Your body is connected, and if you want to go back to one of our podcasts, The Spiritual Wi-Fi, listen to that. There's scientific proof, but like we need it. And so anyways, every morning I connect, and you guys know that I connect, and I have my pathway of what I want to do, and then all of a sudden it just goes a different direction. And it's so hard for me because if you know me, I'm a little bit of I don't want to say control freak. That's not necessarily true, but I do like to have my things kind of lined out and things like that. When it doesn't go my way, especially with like power outages and all this other crap, it's just like, ooh, what is happening this morning? But we roll with it. And that flexibility is key. And this kind of does do a lead into today's topic, which is going to encourage you to push the love button. That's right, push the love button. You ever get in those scenarios, you find yourself in life like really not connecting with people, or choosing not to connect, or just finding yourself in this just pissed off, frustrated mode? It's like, what is the matter with people? What are you doing? Why did you do that? I don't care if it's you're in traffic. I don't care if you're, you're just dealing with coworkers or staff, if you're a business owner, anything like that. If my staff's listening, I'm not mad at you. That's not the case. All right, but do you ever find yourself in that situation where you're just like, ooh, just a little bent to the world? And this is a hard thing. This is a hard thing for me to learn in the past, and it's a hard thing to kind of cycle back through. And so we talk about pushing the love button all the time, but in the aspects of the love button needs to be pushed with not to try an effort into loving people, but loving yourself. Yeah, that's a hard one to swallow, isn't it? And so every day we deal with people in our office and get to serve people in the aspect and the manner of actually helping them move towards health. And one of the biggest disconnects that I see on a daily basis is the people not loving themselves. Now, if you ask them that, the body basically goes into this almost convulsive state where it's like, oh, why would I do that? Yeah. So you stack it up in your direction. You ask yourself this question, do I love myself? And you're like, ooh, what does your body immediately do? Oftentimes, many people would just cringe. They're just like, no, that's not what I do. I can love other people, but I can't love myself. Listen to that, though, for a second. So I have you consider today, if you do not love yourself, and we'll show you some actions that a lot of people do that show that. If you do not love yourself, how could you possibly love somebody else? I'll say that again. If you cannot love yourself, how could you possibly pour love into somebody else? If you do not have it yourself, you literally cannot give it to somebody else. It's like trying to give gasoline to another car that's broke down that needs gasoline and you don't have any gasoline. It's not going to work. And so when we're talking about healing and literally moving from an element of like just sickness and disease and things like that, oftentimes it's a matter of taking care of yourself. I've learned a long time ago, in order for my family to be healthy, I have to be the healthiest. That means I have to pour into myself every single day and do things every single day that advance me and show an incredible amount of love for myself in order for that love to exude to my kids and my wife. And indirectly to the people that we serve on a daily basis. And if I do not show that same kind of love to myself, how could I possibly pour that out into anybody else? And so I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. But first and foremost, you got to ask that question. I had some mentors one time give me an assignment to literally look in the mirror and then write down what you actually see. Literally stare yourself in the eyes and write down what you see. And it's not good. The first time you do this, it's not good. It's human nature. It's human nature to beat up on ourselves. And you've likely taken a huge amount of society's opinions on who you are. And you may just find that a lot of those opinions are not even yours. You've owned them. You've owned them a lot like yours. Meaning that you've probably gone into this aspect of like, hey, this is me. Everybody says it's me, so this is me. And whatever that might be for you, you're short, you're tall, you're happy, you're sad, you're grumpy, you're feisty, you're fiery, whatever it may be for you, you've taken that on and you've let that define you versus you actually defining yourself. So when you sit there and look at yourself in the mirror, and I'm going to contend that majority of you won't do it. Prove me wrong. All right, prove me wrong. Put a list together and come back, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment down there. Comment on the Facebook post and on the blog post. There's areas to do that. Prove me wrong on this, but most people won't take the time because they actually cannot even believe that they could even have some love for themselves. And we see this in the actions that people do on a daily basis. That's right. They do not love themselves. The way they eat, the way they take care of their bodies, the way they go into relationships. Okay, and I even hear this on a daily basis. Well, I'd love to do that for myself. Yeah, and then what starts to follow? I'd love to do that for myself, but I just won't do it. I can't afford it. I don't have the time. I got to do these things. I got to pour into everybody else. I mean, I got to serve the man as a worker. I mean, I have to have some employment and I have to keep the job going. I have to get money. I have to take the kids over here. You fill in your excuses and I'll show you that your results won't be there. You fill in the excuses, your results won't be there. And until you carve out time for yourself, your body will not flourish. Your relationships will suffer until you start to actually carve out time for yourself. So what does that look like for you? That's right. That's investing in yourself on a daily basis. So let's start with your body. What could you do specifically today to invest in your body a little bit more? Here we are talking about New Year's. You're 21, 22 days into the new year. And what's your workout routine? What are you doing to serve your body on a daily basis? To get it revved up, get it fired up? You're opening your mouth, people, on a daily basis. And there's stuff that goes in. And that stuff is either going to add to your life or to detract away from your life. Meaning it's going to add you to the direction of actually getting healthier or actually move you away from gaining health. You see that this concept is just not like, hey, I'm going to stay in this middle ground for a while. No, it's actually moving you direction, and that direction is either gaining health or losing health. And it goes the same thing with loving yourself. You either every day wake up and say, yes, I love myself because I'm going to do these things, or I don't. Because the opposite, if you say, look, I can't, no, I don't, I look in the mirror and I don't love myself. What is the opposite? Are you filling it up with, I hate myself? I literally do not look like the way I look. I had to learn this at an early age. I remember, I don't know what happened, if it was testosterone or what, there's probably a lot of different arenas that could cause this. And it's funny, we're talking about laser that can grow hair now and stuff like that. But I remember playing rugby, and I just decided like the hair needed to go. So I shaved one summer and just kind of just a real stubble and this and that. And then literally like my hair never grew back. Never grew back the way it would, like, should. I don't know if it was just brewing, it was coincidence, what have you. All right, but there had to become an element that I loved the way I look. And so when people would be like, wow, you don't have hair and you're that young. So this is like out of college, like 22 years old, something like that. And I said, yeah. And so I came up with a self-motivation, self-talk on hair that was just like, yeah, well, I can have more hats. And people are like, oh, that's cool. Or I'd be like, I'm faster now. Less wind resistance. People would be like, yeah, you don't have any hair. And I'd say, yes, right. I save a lot of money on shampoo and conditioner. See, it's all how you spin it. And I could sit there and just loathe on myself and just be like, gosh, look at those people with the wavy locks. Or I could spin it in an aspect of this is me. And I love me. And I love the way I look. And I love the way my body reacts. And I go into this mode of love. Because the opposite would be hate, would be anger. It could be shame or guilt as I look at myself. So consider doing this today. Literally sit there and look at, I don't care if it's a cell phone, you can turn the camera around and sit there and look at yourself and then make a list of what you see. I would contend the majority of it is going to be what? Negative. And you're going to find quickly all of the things that have been put in your life and been put on you by other people in society. And you need to actually shed that. And then on that other side, you need to make a list. What do you like about yourself? Literally go back and say, what do you like or what do you love? What are your attributes? What do you see? And then run from there. And consider today making a category in different arenas that you can move into and actually do things that show that you love yourself. And we see people actually move that direction in our office. They're like, you know what? I'm going to do this for me today. This is just for me. And I said, do you know that that's okay? It's okay to do this for you. Moms, you're the worst. If you're a mom and listening to this, you will not take care of yourself. You literally will sacrifice your health, your beauty, your money, everything that you have to make sure that your kids get what they need. And I'm here to tell you that's not good. Because your only way that you can exude love at its maximum capacity is to start with yourself. And that includes taking care of yourself physically, taking care of yourself nutritionally, so you exercise, taking care of yourself the way you dress. That's right, the way you show up. Just walk through Walmart. You'll see how people show up. We've all joked about it, not picking on anybody, but the way you show up. The way you show up on a daily basis shows how much you are pouring into yourself, how much you love yourself. Do you date yourself? Could you actually schedule some time just for you? I'm going to do this. I did this a while back. I said, I want to be a pilot. I want to be a pilot. I love myself so much that I want to go this direction. And ensued a path for me. It was a longer path than it should have been. But ensued this path of just like me pouring into myself on a daily basis that I wanted to fly. I got up in a plane. I'm like, I could do this. And so the direction went. And so your healing process, your body physically, in order to respond, needs love. And that love's got to start with you. Your relationships, they need love. And in order to get that love, you have to first love yourself. But have you consider if you're having challenges in a relationship, so whether it's a marriage that is suffering, it's got to start with you. You're going to sit there and project on everybody else. You're going to actually look at and find the problem in everybody else, which is just an outward projection of who you are. That's right. The problems that you have, the love that you cannot give to somebody else because of fill in the blanks. That person is this, he's doing this, she's doing that. Whatever it may be is an outward projection of your own life. It's hard to hear. It is hard to hear that because you can't love somebody else is the fact that you cannot love yourself first. That's all I got for you. You got to do the work on this. You have to do the work on this. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and sit there and say, what do I love about myself? Or worse yet, go through your list and say, what do I hate about myself? And ask yourself, is that true? That's all I got. You got to do the work. Push the love button, people. But you got to push the love button first for you. And move yourself from just surviving, loathing, hate, anger, frustration with yourself to a more of a loving, caring world that this could be. Survive to thrive. We'll talk to you tomorrow.